Well, as the French would say, there you have it. I've not configured it yet. We're going to do that now on camera. So, I've put the barrel with the logs there. It's not hooked up in any way, shape or form. And for now, I'm just going to move the logs manually over to there as and when needed. I've moved the power over here. Excuse me. So, I've put the capacity battery underneath, and the quantum entropy accelerator and my force Stirling generators feed into that. And then there are two taps out of that, one going off to my ore processing, and one going off towards my fuel generation. We have 3 barrels up there, locked and pre-configured for carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. And this one here is locked and pre-configured for methyl methacrylate. And this is where this stuff should end up. So we need to set this up so the stuff goes where it's supposed to, because as you can see there's a lot of cross connecting going on there. I could have spread the machines out, but then I'd have needed more pipe. So extraction pipes need to go anywhere we're going to be pulling stuff out. I think, do I need another module filter? No, I only need the one. And module stock. So, there is going to be stuff outputting from those 3 machines. So I just need to, as you can see, it actually highlights. These pipes are really good because they've got like multiple sections to them. So it's like that's the middle bit of the pipe, and that's the end of the pipe, and that's the bit that's up there. So if I right-hand click with the extraction module there, it goes there. And then if you right-hand click the extraction module itself, you can set how often between each extraction and how much it pulls out. So that's and whether it's always active or not. So we are going to tweak those a bit. But for now, we need to output from that one, and that one. We also need to output from our barrels, because the barrels are like a buffer, which are going to keep the carbon, the hydrogen, and the oxygen until we need them. I don't think I need any more. Well, okay, and the last extraction module is going to go there. But there's no reason why I can't throw this one on now, because if I throw that in there, there we go. It's pulling out all the methacrylate. Now, it's all ended up there. There is something called a spread filter. Where are you? Module spread that's made with glowstone dust. And I think if I put my spread, if I put a spread filter there, or possibly there, I think there, then it will evenly distribute the fuel around all the stuff. But I don't think it's that important, because pretty soon all 4 of these are going to be full of methacrylate, and then it's just going to spit them out whenever one of them needs one. Right, so that's those done. Filter. Now, this decomposer, we are going to shove a load of logs in there, and it's going to decompose them to cellulose. Now, we want it to output that cellulose, and we want it to come back in to here. And I think I think these things always go to the first inventory that's available for them, and that has space. And possibly if there's a filter, it will have priority. So we're going to try and put the filter there. And again, I've clicked on the side of the pipe that's near the machine, not the middle. And if I right-hand click on it, we get to set a filter. So we're going to set a custom filter. Now, I'm actually going to put oak wood in, because later on we're going to automatically pump oak wood into the system. So we want that there. But we also need cellulose. And it's a whitelist, so only those things will be allowed down into there. Now, before I go on, I think if I just shoved a load of wood in there now, the cellulose which came out might spill into these machines there. can't go into any of the barrels because the barrels are pre-configured for a single item anyway. But I need to configure these two machines. So, for that I need this module stock, and I also need an example of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, and I made sure to grab myself some methyl ion earlier. So, this machine here is already configured. It's going to make the methyl. So it needs 1 carbon and 3 hydrogen. So that's what we're going to tell this stock filter to keep in this machine. Is 1 carbon and 3 hydrogen. Okay. I think I need a bit more hydrogen. Oops, bounced off the ladder. Let's actually just grab that. There must be some more hydrogen somewhere. Yeah, there we go. Right, so that's still configured. And right hand click on that. So it needs 1 carbon and 3 hydrogen. So I think I actually need 3 hydrogen in hand, so I can teach it to it like that. So whenever this thing doesn't have anything in its inventory, that's going to request 1 carbon and 3 hydrogen, and it's going to come from either the barrels or from the cellulose, which we are degrading. Now this last machine, it needs to be configured to make the methacrylate. So it needs 3 of them. I'm going to need another 2 methyls, aren't I? Yeah, I'm going to need another 2 methyls. Anyway, let's 1, 2. No, see, that's 30. That's not what we wanted. Carbon. 1, 2. And oxygen. 1, 2. Right, so that's going to make methacrylate, and I need to tell its filter that that's what it needs to keep. Okay, right hand clicking works. So I just basically need to give this this stock filter, this stock module, the same recipe as is inside the machine. So 3, 2, 2, 3, 2, 2, 1 and 3, 1 and 3. And I think that's it. Now the reason we have to do that, of course, is because otherwise, if this thing was requesting an unlimited amount of carbon and hydrogen, it would use it all up here, and then there would be no carbon left for over there. So let's grab 8 logs. And what we're hoping to see is I will manually put the logs in there. They will decompose to cellulose. Once all the logs have decomposed to cellulose, the cellulose should spit out, travel up, and go back into the same machine. And then the cellulose will get further broken down into the carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. The first lot of carbon and hydrogen should end up in here, and the rest will go up there. And then once this thing has spat out 3 methyls, this thing will spit out a methacrylate. I'm actually going to turn this off, so this thing's actually going to store them, so we can hopefully see it happen. Right, see, so that's that. Cellulose comes out, travels round, goes back in. Now the cellulose is decomposing, and now everything is whizzing. Is this going to work? I can see methyl going in. We've got one already. Is this not a thing of beauty? There's 2. So they take a while, but if you remember, these things burn for absolutely ages. So we put in 8 logs. I'm curious what we're going to end up with, whether we're going to have any problems or jams anywhere. Now the only thing I might want to slow down is this thing can make the methyl so quickly, but this thing only wants 3 at a time. And this thing's going to spit them out at a massive rate, so we'll end up with loads of methyl floating around with nowhere really to go, and this thing will have used up more of the hydrogen. So I think I need to slow its output. But we're just going to wait and see what happens once all those elements run out. Because it hasn't actually jammed yet. Actually, no, we're going to count to see how long it takes methyl to get from there to there. So Mississippi 1, Mississippi 2, Mississippi 3, Mississippi 4, Mississippi 5. So I think this thing should, for a start, it should only output 1 at a time. And I think it should wait 5 seconds between outputs. Okay, everything's finished. We've got 9 carbon left and an excess of oxygen. I think we were expecting that. I'm inspecting these pipes to see if there's anything jammed in there. Now the thing with these relocation pipes is they'll never spill items out onto the floor. What happens is the items will either just flow through the system forever or they get jammed in the filters. And I don't see any. So let's distribute this stuff so we can keep the power flowing. And we're going to drop another 8 logs in, because I want to see about this timing thing. That can output as fast as it wants. That can output as fast as it wants. That one has to output slower because this thing wants 3 at a time. And the problem is that if this thing's spitting out like 20 a second, it will, this thing will say, I want some methyl, and this thing will spit out 20 a second, and it'll go a massive stream of them. 3 of them will go in there, and the rest will just bounce around. And then the next time this thing wants 3, this thing will spit out another load. And I think that means it's using up more of the carbon, which might be why we have an excess of oxygen. So I'm actually going to clear out all the elements so we can get a nice even read on this. And let's see, we got 7. I think we got 7, but we know we had loads of spare oxygen left. Let's see whether this is better balanced at all. So we are out of hydrogen. Oh, I pressed escape. So we are out of hydrogen. We've got a little bit of carbon left, and we've got a lot less excess oxygen than we had last time, which I think means we had a better ratio. We'll have to check in the edit, but this has gotten me 18. It's definitely slower with this thing set to 5 seconds between each extraction. I think 4 seconds is long enough. I was watching that while that was going on, and it seemed to take about 4 seconds for one to go there. The only other tweaking I think I should do is these things should only ever really provide a few at a time. Carbon should be in batches of 2. They can spit out as fast as they like. Hydrogen should be in batches of 3, because the only thing that wants hydrogen wants it in batches of 3, and oxygen can be in batches of 2. Right, so we'll tell that to output to the machines, and we'll give it an actual stack this time, and that's it, I think, for the episode. Now, all the cellulose is gonna stay there until the logs are gone, because the only place cellulose can go is back in the top, and this slot is obviously full. But the moment that log's gone, that stuff will spit out really quick and come back in. And as you can see, this is that thing about it being blocked. That's why this is all gone red, because all that cellulose is sat there waiting to be inserted. So that is it for this episode. The only other thing someone told me is if I get some sucrose, if I make some sucrose, make a pool of water of it, and sit in it, then it'll fill up my hunger bar, which is perfect for going AFK. I'm curious why this isn't filling up with lava when it's supposed to. Probably no. There's no reason why that isn't filling up with lava. That's full of obsidian. Oh, it's got obsidian in there. We just can't see it. That's a graphical glitch. But there's definitely obsidian in there. So, with an inexhaustible power supply that's not evenly distributed, but you see, this one's got 64 in there now. So the next bit of methacrylate, well, anyway, I'm gibbering and jabbering because it's late, and this took me a while, but I think it works pretty well, and it's nice and compact as well. Definitely nice and compact. So I can just tidy up the base a bit. I'm terrible at ending episodes, aren't I? Always one more thing to do, one more thing to say. That goes there. Fill in the gaps. And we're done. Very, very pretty. Very nice. Now we've got that massive power supply, I might run a connection to here, so in an emergencies my life support will run off that power. I don't know how long this star will last. Probably quite a while. 190 million. What was it on the beginning of this episode? 94? So it's actually used a reasonable chunk of its energy. Obviously, once that runs out, then we die. Yay, we have atmosphere. I need to set up automatic feeding of this stuff into there. Right, now, what I'm thinking is that now I've got these intelligent pipes, I'm going to see about getting this system upgraded. Firstly, so I'm actually decomposing compressed cobble rather than obsidian, because that will give me the ingredients for silicon dioxide, and with an intelligent pipe network I can create gravel and sand and sift them both. And I think I want to sift sand because I'm not getting any redstone at the moment and it's becoming an issue. Can't you sieve sand? I need to sift moon turf if I'm to get that, but I can make moon turf using silicon and oxygen. Yeah, so I think I'm going to need a couple more chemical synthesis machines, or at least one more, because I think I need one making gravel, one making moon turf, and then I need to be sieving those. And these pipes are definitely the way to do it. Because I have 3 module stacks left, so I can have a maximum of 3 more automated synthesis machines until I need ender pearls. Right, well, I will see you next time, where hopefully my resource problems will be sorted.